Is Daniel, and this is the video tutorial for my new Rails web application called TicketTrack. Just to give you a little background on why I came up with this idea, I used to run a small business that I started back in high school where I would buy and sell a lot of different event tickets. And I thought it would be cool to have one platform where I could keep all of these transactions and all of these events in one place so I could kind of keep track of my inventory value as well as my total profits and where other sellers who do the same type of business could also keep track of their own events, their own transactions, their own profits and losses. So without further ado, we'll jump right in, beginning with the home page and the sign up function. So here we just have a little home page with a little image and a couple checkpoints saying what the application does. We're going to go ahead and hit sign up. Or actually, I want to show you. So if we go to login and I try and log in with this email, danpaulgo@aol.com, it's not going to work because that user doesn't exist yet. So instead, I could hit log in with Facebook, and it will bring me to this Facebook page where I can log in with my regular Facebook password. Hit continue, and now I have a brand new TicketTrack account with my Facebook email, my full name, and I'm ready to go to begin creating some events and transactions. I'm just going to log out of here now so I could show you what a traditional sign up would look like. So we're going to go back to that same sign up page, and I'm going to enter some information here. We'll say Dan just to kind of set the two apart. We'll use danpaulgo@gmail.com, which is my other email, not associated with Facebook. I'll just show you what happens if we have mismatching passwords. We get an error, or say we're missing something like a name, we'll get an error. So this time we'll fill the form out correctly with matching passwords. Hit submit. Now it's going to tell me, please check my email for an activation link. And since this app is running through Heroku, it actually does have the functionality to send out real emails, which is pretty cool. So I'm going to go to my Gmail accounts. And sure enough, right there, I have an email from noreply@tickettrack.com saying, hi Daniel, welcome to TicketTrack. Click on the link below to activate your account. So I'll click on the link right there. It says my account has successfully been activated, and now I can go ahead and log in. I'm going to hit this little remember me button, which is a cool little feature I added. Basically, if I go into my cookies now, I will see that there is a cookie for remember token. And if I were able to see my user account, I would see that there is a remember digest in the user's table, and the remember digest actually matches the remember token, or this remember token is the key for that remember digest. So anytime that this token is saved in the browser, you will automatically be logged in, so it can help to keep you logged in for an extended period of time, even after that session variable is deleted. So now I just want to show you one more quick feature. So I'm going to go and log in through a different account that I created originally, just my standard user account, and what I used this for was to create, to have an account where I include all of my seed data, which you'll see in a second. So if I submit invalid email or password, okay, so maybe I forgot my password, right? I would go to reset password. I'm actually going to put in the account that I created before, danpaulgo@gmail.com instead. And it says email sent with password reset instructions. I will go back to that Gmail account, And sure enough, I once again have a new email from no reply at tickettrack.com. Password reset. To reset your password, please click on the link below. I will click that link below, and it will bring me to a page where I can reset my password to whatever I want. So before I think I had password, I'll just make a simple change, make it WordPass. Submit. Now my password has successfully been updated. We're going to go ahead, log in with that new password, and as you see, everything works perfect. Now what we'll do is I'll show you kind of how you would go about adding events, adding transactions, and things of that sort. So say you just purchased some tickets for a concert and you want to add that transaction into your system. So what you would do, you would hit new transaction, and then first thing it allows you to do is select the event. I have a ton of mock data here, a ton of events. Maybe the event you're looking for is here, maybe it's not. Say it's not, we'll hit this link, event not listed. It'll bring us to the create event page. Similar to the last page, this has a drop down of all the possible venues, but once again, maybe the venue's not there. So you could go ahead and you could click venue not listed. Here you can go ahead and create any venue of your choosing. So there's a venue down in Austin that I really like called Emos, so we'll go ahead and add that one. It's in Austin, Texas. You get a drop down so you could select the state. Submit. And now it says venue was successfully created. It brings you to the venue's show page, which doesn't have anything to show yet, but as events are added, it will have more to show. We can go back to the home page now, and we could try re-adding that transaction. Or rather, I should say we should add a new event first. So now that the venue we just created is listed right here, Emos in Austin, Texas, we can choose that venue. We can either choose a performer from this preset list, or if there's a performer for an event that isn't listed here, we can add that performer right in the event form. So let's say let's add the Struts. Right? And let's say they're doing a show on September 1st. So we'll go ahead and submit that event. That event is successfully created, and if we look at upcoming events, it might be a little bit easier to find it. And there it is, the Struts at Emos on September 1st, so that's pretty cool. Then finally we're ready to add a transaction. So we can go to our list of events. The event will be right there where we put it. The Struts at Emos on September 1st. Pick a price. Say we spent $100 and $120, and we purchased 2 tickets, right? And say that we purchased them off Ticketmaster. Add source. We don't need to add a source since the source is already listed. The order number will go Ticketmaster 1A. Order date. Say we ordered it last week. And notes. We'll say GA floor. Right. So submit, and it'll bring us to a page dedicated to that transaction with all the information we just put in. It even has a link to the events page for this event, including any recent transactions that we may have had. This is a personalized event page, so it's not all the transactions; it's only your transactions, which is a cool little feature. So, and then the coolest thing is that, if you go back, your total profit and your inventory value will change because you now own $120 worth of tickets and you spent $120 on tickets without making any profit back. So you have a total profit of negative $120 and an inventory value of $120, and you're probably about even at this point. Now let's add one more transaction. This time we'll make it a sale. So say we want to make it a sale for that same event. And say we made a little bit of money off this one. So say instead we sold one ticket for $90, right? Each ticket was originally $60 since we bought two for $120, but we sold just one for $90. And maybe this time the source isn't there, so we'll add a new source. Say we found a buyer on Instagram, and that's yep, Instagram's not listed here, so we'll have to add it on, and we'll just say Instagram 1A, and say that order date. Say we just sold that ticket today, so we'll list that today, and we won't put any notes. So once again, it creates its own page for the transaction, gives you all the information, and if you go back to your home page, you'll see that your profit and inventory value have been altered once again. You now have an inventory value of 60 because you had two tickets for $120, $60 each. You sold one of them. So now you have one ticket left, which has an original value of $60. Your total profit will be negative 30 because even though you did make a little bit of money off that first ticket, you still spent more money altogether than you did making money. So you have a total profit of $30, but now an inventory value of $60, which I think puts you in the plus overall. Um, And quickly, like once again, we can just go through the show pages, see how they're all intertwined. If we take a look at all the performers, you could see their upcoming events. You could look at all of their events. You have a lot of control over filtering these events. So you just want to see past events, right? It will give you a page of just past events or just upcoming events. You want to list them from descending date. You'll see the latest concert first. This goes the same for actual transactions. There's a lot of ways to filter them, and I'll get to that in a second once we go into one of our other accounts. Right now, the last thing I want to show you in this account is the menu page. You see you have a couple options here, one for events. You can see every single event in the system. One for performers, same deal. You can see performers and actually click on them as links to see what upcoming events they have. You have venues, very similar to performers. Each one has a link. You can click on it to see what events they have. You have settings, which basically enables you to go in and edit your own. Say I want to change my name from Daniel to just Dan, and say I messed up on my birthday. Say I was actually born in 1992. I could go ahead and I could change that. Welcome back, Dan, so it reflects that change. So yeah, now we can go ahead and log out of this account, and what I want to show you is what an admin account looks like and the extra functionality that you get out of that. So we're going to go to the admin account that I've created, do a regular login, and now what you'll see is if you go to the menu, not only do you have this ability to edit or delete anything you want. If you go to a performer page, it gives you that option to edit and delete. Same with venues. You can edit and delete anything you want. You can also take a list at all the transaction sources and all the users, which is pretty cool. You actually have control over you know any piece of data, different users, transactions. If I wanted to go in and edit John's transaction, I could potentially do that in an admin account. Another thing I could do, so if we want to take another look at John's account, let's take this transaction. This transaction was completed through Eventbrite, right? I'm not sure exactly how many transactions were completed through Eventbrite for John, but we as an admin could go ahead and delete Eventbrite if we wanted to. And what would happen there is every transaction associated with Eventbrite would get deleted from the platform, and John's inventory value and profit would be affected by that. So right now you can see it's $379 total profit and a $0 inventory value. Let's delete Eventbrite, which you can see he has at least one transaction associated with, probably more. And let's see how that affected his numbers. So like huge changes in his numbers. I'm not sure exactly, just because a lot of the C data is randomized. I don't know exactly how many purchases and how many sales he had using Eventbrite, but his total profit and his inventory value has completely changed. His inventory value has gone up by a lot, and so has his total profit. So as you can see, it's very dynamic in terms of what data you enter, and it's very quick to run those calculations so that it's only calculating your profits and your values based on current present data, and that is the meat of this application. That's kind of the purpose and the most helpful factor, is that it's able to kind of run those calculations so quick based on the information you give it, and immediately give you an answer on where you're at and how your business is doing. Another quick thing, like I said, admins have the power to edit pretty much anything you want. Say Alice in Wonderland, her name does have one L's, but say it had two, I could quickly go in, edit that. Now you see anywhere you see her name, there's two L's. Go, edit it back to normal. It's no problem. From an admin standpoint, I could do that. A regular user, even though a regular user can create an event, can create a venue, or can create a performer, a regular user can't edit or delete them once created. Only an admin can do that. So that's pretty much it in terms of the site's regular functionality. There's one last little feature that I would like to show you, and that is the contact page, which you don't need to be signed out to use. As you can see right now, you don't need to be signed in to use. Right now we're signed out. I can go to a contact page and enter, an email, say student@flatiron.com, right? And say there's just a general inquiry. Hey, love the site. Can I learn more? Right? And then I hit send, and it'll bring you right back to the home page. If you're signed up, it'll bring you to your personal user home page. And then it will send an actual email to my email address, because all contact emails to the site I've set up to go directly to my email address. So we should have one last email from noreply@tickettrack.com, which is right here, and of course, general inquiry in the subject. Message from student@flatiron.com, and the contact message is right there. Hey, love the site. Can I learn more? And I think that's about it. Going through and showing all the functionality that this site has to offer. There's a Definitely a lot of little ideas I have, little features that I might be able to add in the future, but right now I'm very proud of where it's come. It works exactly the way I'd like it to, and I hope some people are able to find some use out of it as well. Thanks for listening and checking it out.